Have you ever stood at the edge of a diving board looking down at the water below? Fear might grip you. Doubt might whisper. Your heart races and your mind is filled with 1,000 what-ifs. What if the water is too cold? What if you belly flop? What if you can't swim back to the surface? These thoughts can be paralyzing, making you question your decision to even climb up there in the first place. But then, you take a deep breath. You close your eyes for a moment, trying to silence the doubts, and you jump. In that split second, you let go of all the fears and uncertainties. You trust that the water will catch you, that you'll resurface, and that everything will be okay. That leap, that moment of trust, is a lot like faith. It's a powerful metaphor for the leaps we take in life, where the outcome is uncertain, but we move forward anyway. It's about surrendering control and believing that something greater will guide us. It's trusting in something you can't see, but know is there. It's the assurance of things hoped for, the conviction of things not seen. This kind of trust requires a deep inner strength and a willingness to embrace the unknown. It's believing in something bigger than yourself. It's the understanding that there is a higher power at work, orchestrating the events of your life in ways you may not comprehend. This belief gives you the courage to face challenges head-on, knowing that you are not alone. In the Bible, we find countless examples of ordinary people taking extraordinary leaps of faith. Their stories inspire us, they challenge us. Think of Noah, who built an ark despite the ridicule of others, trusting in God's promise. Or Abraham, who left his homeland, not knowing where he was going, but believing in God's guidance. They remind us that faith is not just a feeling, it's an action. It's about making choices that reflect our trust in God, even when the path is unclear. It's about taking that first step, even when we can't see the entire staircase. It's about stepping out of our comfort zones and into the unknown, confident that God will catch us. It's about embracing the uncertainty and trusting that, no matter what happens, we are held in divine hands. Just like the water supports the diver, God's love supports us even when we can't see it. It's a constant presence, a source of strength and comfort in times of trouble. When we take that leap of faith, we are not leaping into the void. We are leaping into the arms of a loving God who is always there to catch us. Think about Abraham. He was a man of great faith, a patriarch who embarked on a journey that would change the course of history. He left his home, his family, everything he knew to follow God's call. Imagine the courage it took to leave behind the familiar and step into the unknown. He had no map, no GPS, just a promise from God. A promise that his descendants would be as numerous as the stars in the sky. Or consider Moses, who stood before the Red Sea, facing an impossible situation. The Egyptian army was closing in and there seemed to be no way out. Yet, he trusted God. He raised his staff and the impossible happened. The waters parted and the Israelites walked through on dry ground. It was a moment of divine intervention that changed their destiny. These stories are not just ancient history. They are timeless lessons that resonate with us today. They are blueprints for our own journeys of faith. Each step we take in faith is a step towards fulfilling our own divine purpose. They teach us that faith is not always easy. It's not always comfortable. There will be challenges and obstacles along the way, but it is always worth it. The rewards of faith are beyond measure. They bring us closer to God and to the fulfillment of His promises, because when we trust in God, we open ourselves up to His limitless possibilities. We become part of a greater story, a divine narrative that transcends time and space. And we are not alone on this journey. We walk alongside others who share our faith, drawing strength and inspiration from one another. Every new day is an opportunity to renew our faith, to take another step on our journey, and to trust in God's plan for our lives. So let us be like Abraham and Moses, stepping out in faith, trusting in God's promises, and embracing the journey He has set before us. For in the end, it is our faith that will guide us, sustain us, and lead us to the fulfillment of God's divine purpose for our lives. We see these same principles of faith playing out in our world today. Stories of healing, of provision, of unexpected breakthroughs, all because someone dared to believe. A single mother prays for a miracle, and somehow there's food on the table. A doctor exhausts all medical options, and then, against all odds, a patient makes a miraculous recovery. These stories remind us that God is still in the miracle business. He is still moving in powerful ways if we only have the eyes to see and the hearts to believe. So, how do we cultivate this kind of faith in our own lives? It starts with small steps. Like a tiny seed that grows into a mighty tree, faith grows with each act of obedience, each prayer whispered, each time we choose trust over fear. Start by talking to God. Share your hopes, your fears, your dreams. Read your Bible. Let His words guide you, comfort you, and strengthen you. Surround yourself with people who will lift you up and encourage you in your faith. Faith is not a solo sport. It flourishes in community. In the Bible, Jesus compares faith to a mustard seed. It's small, almost insignificant, yet it has the potential to grow into something large and powerful. The same is true of our faith. It might start small, a flicker of hope, a simple prayer. But with each act of trust, each moment of surrender, it grows stronger. Don't underestimate the power of small beginnings. Every great oak tree was once a tiny acorn. Every mighty river began as a single drop of rain. And every life of faith started with a single step of trust. Life will inevitably throw us curveballs. We will face challenges, setbacks, and moments when our faith is tested. But remember David, a young shepherd who faced a giant named Goliath. He didn't focus on the size of the giant. He focused on the size of his God. When fear whispers, "You're not strong enough," faith shouts back, "God is." When doubt says, "It's impossible," faith declares, "All things are possible with God." We might not always understand why we face trials, but we can trust that God is with us through every storm. When we choose to live by faith, we embark on a journey that transcends our individual lives. It doesn't just impact us, it creates a ripple effect that touches everyone around us. Our faith becomes a beacon of hope, a source of strength, and an inspiration to others. It encourages us to reach out, to connect, and to build bridges where there were once walls. Our faith becomes a beacon of hope, a source of strength, and an inspiration to others. It encourages us to reach out, to connect, and to build bridges where there were once walls. Like a stone dropped in a pond, our faith creates ripples that extend far beyond ourselves. Our acts of kindness, our words of encouragement, and our unwavering belief in a better tomorrow. Like a stone dropped in a pond, our faith creates ripples that extend far beyond ourselves. Our acts of kindness, our words of encouragement, and our unwavering belief in a better tomorrow. They all have the power to make a difference in the world. When we perform random acts of kindness, we are not just helping someone in need, we are setting an example for others to follow. Our faith teaches us to be selfless, to put others before ourselves, and to always strive for the greater good. Our unwavering belief in a better tomorrow fuels our actions today. It gives us the courage to face challenges, the strength to overcome obstacles, and the hope to keep moving forward, even when the path seems uncertain. They all have the power to make a difference in the world. We are called to be the light in the darkness, the salt of the earth, sharing God's love and hope wherever we go. When we volunteer in our communities, we are not just giving our time, we are giving a part of ourselves. We are showing others that they are not alone, that there is always someone who cares. We are called to be the light in the darkness, the salt of the earth, sharing God's love and hope wherever we go. Our faith compels us to act, to be the change we wish to see in the world. It reminds us that even the smallest act of kindness can have a profound impact. The salt of the earth, sharing God's love and hope wherever we go. Our faith is not just a personal journey, it is a communal one. It brings us together, unites us in a common purpose, and strengthens our bonds with one another, sharing God's love and hope wherever we go. In times of need, our faith provides comfort and solace. It reminds us that we are never alone, that there is always a higher power watching over us. By living our faith, we inspire others to do the same, creating a ripple effect that can transform entire communities. Walking by faith is not about having all the answers we seek. It's about trusting the one who does know them. It's about surrendering our plans, our worries, our fears into His loving hands. It's about finding peace in the midst of uncertainty, knowing that God is in control. When we let go of our need to control everything, we open ourselves up to the beauty of God's perfect plan. We discover that His ways are higher than our ways, beyond our understanding, and His thoughts are higher than our thoughts, infinitely so. Imagine sailing across the ocean without a compass. You'd be lost, wouldn't you? Faith is like our compass, guiding us through the storms of life, leading us towards our true destination. It helps us make sense of the chaos, giving us direction when we feel lost. It reminds us that we are not alone, that God is with us every step of the way, leading us towards His perfect purpose for our lives. Trust the compass of faith, even when you can't see the shore. It will lead you home. Faith is not meant to be compartmentalized or set aside. It's not just for Sundays or times of crisis, but for every moment. It's meant to permeate every aspect of our lives, our relationships, our work, our dreams, our fears. It's about seeing God's hand in every detail, big or small, every single day. It's about trusting Him in the good times and the bad, knowing that He is working all things together for our good. When we weave faith into the very fabric of our being, it transforms us from the inside out, making us whole. The journey of faith is not always easy, but it is eternally significant. The Bible tells us that it is by grace we are saved through faith. Our faith is a precious gift, a lifeline that connects us to God's infinite love and grace. It is a testament to the unseen, a declaration of our trust in the one who holds the universe in His hands. So let us walk by faith, not by sight, knowing that the one who began a good work in us will carry it on to completion.